Hello everyone, 3-0, 3-0, and many will say, wow, I didn't see this coming. Mostly Arsenal fans, who for some reason they weren't that optimistic. But those that have been watching Real Madrid this season, like myself, I'm not that surprised. We're not that surprised. We've seen this before all season, and it can be briefly put as this is a Real Madrid that has got players up front that don't defend. They don't do the minimum that they should do, and they don't really have a plan with the ball to build from the back, to attack in certain ways, to surprise the rivals. It's an all-looking Real Madrid. You see, for instance, Lewis Skelly just coming inside, just that bit. And yet at Real Madrid, you see Valverde, who's a centre midfielder, as right back, staying as right back. Perhaps he could have joined the middle, especially when you saw that Arsenal made life difficult to Real Madrid when they built from the back. And also it was hard for Real Madrid to, take the ball from Courtois. Valverde could have come inside, and if it was planned, if they worked on it. There's none of the sort, and as I said, especially without the ball, is the Real Madrid we've seen all season. The two men up front, especially Vinicius, Mbappe, they just don't work hard enough. That's the first thing to say. Secondly, you have to say that I actually went to see Middlesbrough United, London Lions at the time of the Arsenal Real Madrid, and then I watched the whole game after that, knowing the result. So it allowed me to look at the game from a different point of view. What is it that Arsenal did to be 2-0 up, for instance? And to be honest, after the minute 50, before the minute 58, before the first goal, there was nothing separating the sides. In fact, Real Madrid had started to control matters because with Modric in the middle, almost 40-year-old, 39, slowing things down, that meant that Real Madrid could pass the ball around a little bit. But he wasn't helped massively by Camavinga, who was poor, as well as sent off at the end, and generally a Real Madrid that did not have enough high tempo penetration passes inside to affect a very solid Arsenal, which was to be expected, of course. Arsenal defend very well, but yeah, when Real Madrid fell, they were controlling matters a little bit, not creating danger, but controlling matters. At that point in the Champions League, individual quality makes the difference. Arsenal do not score a free kick in 3 years and a half, and then they scored 2 in 12 minutes. 2 in 12 minutes. Declan Rice, I don't think I've seen him score a goal in a set piece, scores twice. But certainly after 1-0, and especially after 2-0, Real Madrid collapsed. And that there is no justification for it. Arsenal could have gone 5-6-0 to the Bernabeu, and that is a bad sign. A sign of a team that mentally felt that they didn't have an answer. That's a coaching problem. Physically, they didn't seem to be not so much tired or anything like that, but certainly they weren't aggressive enough. They could have understood that the game was escaping them. They could have perhaps tried to control it. They couldn't do that either. And that's down to an Arsenal side that tried in different ways to beat this Real Madrid. First with aggression in the pressure, high tempo, and they did that really well. But in the last third, they just didn't find that last pass that made the difference until the 2 goals. And after that, it was waves of attack and really, really good collective work. So it was very, very impressive from Arsenal. I think this tie is done because even though there's a massive room for improvement from Real Madrid, I haven't seen a Real Madrid this season, not once, that you say, wow, what a 90 minutes. How good they were without the ball. They were fantastic with the ball. No, in the last 2 months, for instance, they have beaten Spanish teams only by 1 goal and struggled with the likes of Leganés, for instance. They required a last-minute goal to qualify to the next round of the Cup. This is a team that has got 51 or 52 games, 3 extra times. So some players are not at the best. They've been overused, but generally, it's a team that lacks, I would say, the culture, if you like, where everybody feels they've got to work really hard. I think after winning so much last season, they probably feel, we'll just race our game and that's it. And that the culture of the man that they had in previous years seems to be missing in this year. And they don't have many plans with the ball, because a lot has been left, as per usual, to individual quality. So I think we've seen the end of an era. They've shown us that miracles are possible in football. I just don't see it happening. But we will see. I'll be at the Bernabeu. As I said, I was at the Verdant watching Middlesbrough United yesterday. I'm now on my way to Heathrow to go to Barcelona, because I'll be at Barcelona Borussia Dortmund tonight. Two teams, like every other team that is succeeding this season, where everybody works very hard to get the ball back. There's no team in the world now that has got two players that they mostly decide not to defend. It just doesn't happen in modern football anymore. So whoever comes next, if Ancelotti goes, and we all think it's going to be Xabi Alonso, he's going to have to change that from the mentality of the players. There is a second leg. I know, I hear you, Real Madrid fans, there is a second leg, but I'm not sure Real Madrid can produce miracles. This Real Madrid. So anyway, we'll see, and I will check what's the credit on miracles from Real Madrid. Fantastic from Arsenal. I know, and I mentioned it in the preview, Arteta was completely convinced that they could harm Real Madrid. I'm not sure what he thought was. Obviously, what a coach can do is prepare a plan, the plan of having high tempo, good pressure, quick transitions, all that. But it required the quality, individual quality of Declan Rice, who was absolutely fantastic. But the rest, what happened was also coaching, the coaching of the team and the mentality of the team that has been created by Mikel Arteta. The way they destroyed Real Madrid in the last 20-30 minutes of the game was a sign of a team that is absolutely convinced on the leadership and the idea that the leadership defends. So Champions League, isn't it great?